Good evening, graduates, faculty, friends, and family. We have to take a moment because I need a picture of all this. All right, we'll speed it later. When I was asked to speak in front of you today, I thought, no problem. I can articulate what Kaplan has meant to me over the past 2 years while completing my degree. I have written many papers and been published in an international technology magazine, but I quickly found myself struggling putting it all together. On Tuesday, October 4th, I decided to attempt to cure this case of writer's block by researching inspirational quotes. Quotes from the likes of Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, other great figures in history. Quotes from sports heroes like Lou Holtz, Joe DiMaggio, Jackie Robinson. And quotes from technology greats like Bill Gates and my favorite, the late Steve Jobs. Now you may be wondering where all this is going, but trust me, bear with me. After this exercise, it became a bit more clear what Kaplan has meant to me. Before enrolling at Kaplan, I had been a successful account executive in sales and marketing in a variety of different industries. I decided it was time to give back to my community, and I entered the realm of the nonprofit organization. Unfortunately, this semi-philanthropic decision had the worst timing, as shortly thereafter, the economy started to suffer, and like many Americans, and frankly, I'm sure many of you here today, became a victim of downsizing. Well, that's the nice way that corporate America tells you got laid off. After many months of unsuccessful job searching, I knew I had to do something different, but I didn't want just another job like I had before. I had a family that was depending on me, although at the time, I didn't feel very dependable. Albert Einstein defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I decided to do things a little bit differently. I decided to go back to school at the age of 39 and obtain my Bachelor's of Science in Information Technology. Deep inside, I knew I could accomplish this, but as sometimes happens after failure, I began to doubt myself, and it actually took me a whole year to decide to return back to school and get back in the classroom, or in this case, it's the virtual classroom. The fact that I had the family depending on me was an obvious reason, but there seemed to be something more that I was kind of missing. Then October 5th rolled around, and the technology world lost a great visionary in the form of Apple CEO, co-founder and chairman of the board, Steve Jobs. As a fellow tech nerd and Apple fanboy, this was an obvious interest to me, and while perusing the news of his passing, discovered Mr. Jobs was 56 years old when he passed. At that point, it all came together, what Kaplan has meant to me. That's completing unfinished business. My father, Dominic, passed away in 2003 at the same age of 56. He had many bouts with many medical ailments, including leukemia. When he was diagnosed in 1984, staring death in the face, he said his one wish was to live long enough to see both his sons graduate college. Fortunately, my brother Vincent took care of his part twice. He graduated Tufts University in 1996, and he received his master's from the University of Texas in 1999. I did not accomplish this goal before he passed, so like I said, I had a little unfinished business to take care of. I'm very proud of myself standing here in front of you today. I know my family here with me today is very proud. And I hope my dad is looking down and feeling the same pride tonight. I want to thank my wonderful wife, Andrea, who has been the rock of our family during this challenging time in my professional career. She puts up with a lot of my obsessiveness, both about school, education, and frankly, a bunch of other areas in my life. We'll save all that for another day. I want to thank my children, Caitlin and Kinsey, who, although they probably didn't understand why Daddy spent so many hours in front of the computer late at night, just kind of rolled with it, made things so much easier, despite a ruckus here and there coming from the other room. Finally, I want to thank my mom, who traveled 3,000 miles to be here today. Despite the missed flight and the aborted takeoff in Dallas yesterday. Mom, you always told us everything happens for a reason, and that hope kept me sane during the hard times. Everyone's reason for embarking on this educational journey is different, but none is more important than the other. I would like to leave you with a quote from Steve Jobs' 2005 Stanford Commencement speech. He said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be led by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." That's what Kaplan has meant to me. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you.